My name is Margaret N. Windsor, and the reason I was kidnapped and brought to Moulton, Alabama in 1941 at age 2 years old. Reason I'm making this, the name that I have to use is Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers. And this family, this is a glossed over picture. They didn't have cars, and it shows a corner of their old farmhouse that was a shack. Well, not even that. But this was the woman that had twins, Lina Dempsey. And they were born out of wedlock, Peggy and Carl Preston, Peggy and Carl Preston Dempsey. That was their name, the Dempsey family. I was brought in from across the pond, so how I got there at this place to grow up with a dead person's name. Both of them had been killed by her. So anyway, I grew up and I found out about my kidnapping in late '83 after I'd run a political campaign, and Larry Flint had written about mind control murders. Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia while I was doing the book. And he did an endorsement in April of '84 of me. One of the doctors I wrote about in the mind control book, MD License to Kill, is unpublished because it put antifreeze in me April the 1st of '80. And this woman, Lina Dempsey, was afraid if the book, that was part of it, were published, it would be found out that she killed her twins and was not my mother, and she'd be given the gas chamber at the time in Alabama. So the whole family covered it up, and I was told, and anybody wants to say I've told a lie about any of this, I hope to God that it's before a court that will hear it all, and you tell me one place that I've ever lied about anything in it. You can't, I haven't even been able to put half of it up there. How could I? Of the laws and the torture and everything done to me. But this person who I had singled out is probably the one, her name's Annie Carter. You tell me why I can't use their names. The law doesn't work for me, so someone gave me access, giving me this phone to YouTube and Facebook, and that's where I've gone to social media. Now, this woman's Annie Dempsey Carter, married Ezra Carter. He was a soldier at Moulton, at the air base near Moulton. It was Cortland, built during the war. All of these are dead. This is me, and I just got this photo. Someone sent it to me in that family. And I don't want to get him in trouble or anything. My point here, too, in showing this, is there is one person alive here. And the problem I have with all this, if you put yourself in my shoes, any of you, I was tortured to death. I mean, it was a living hell. This woman, back to Annie, when I had the Hustler magazine in a car furnished to me by Larry Flint for a year, '83 to '84, I went by her house up in Kentucky. I was afraid of them. But I went by there because I had the car and that endorsement. So I stayed there, I guess, for, I can't remember, a week, maybe not a week. But she told me, because really I had the car and I'd run in a political campaign to replace Larry McDonald, one of the doctors I'd written about in the book. It looked like I was going to make it, you know. So she told me that the family had been called together by their mother, Lavinia, I believe was her name, Dempsey, and that was the old man. And I'm not going to say on on here, I'm not going to say what all that man did. I mean, his children. So you can take it from there. And I knew about it. Everybody in the family did. But this woman, Annie Carter, Ezra Carter, she has a daughter, and I'm going to name her. Why can I have all these things done to me and not mention their name? Gwendolyn Carter. And she was in Lexington, I know, and her husband was a choir director, I believe, or music director for a Baptist church there. when I was up there at that time in 80, that would have been in 83 the first time. And she admitted all this, Annie Carter, her mother did. And they lived in Carlisle, and thank God the Carlisle cops and the Paris cops were good ones, sheriff and police. So anyway, she told me that the family gathered together, and her mother asked them to cover it up and lie about me and the deaths of the twins because she killed them. And she was later diagnosed as a psychopath. So what does that make them? If you were in my shoes, wouldn't you like to know who your real parents are? Especially in my shoes. I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace. And you start telling that, and people here, I don't care what I have on me, will try to pick out things, inconsistencies or something. And excuse me, there are none. The Brits told me, and I have pictures I put on before. This woman, this says enough right here, this woman, Wallace Simpson, and this is how crooked history is. She never married my father. This is a double, a look-alike, and they're buried at Frogmore at Windsor Castle. So my father, Edward VIII, was forced out illegally, and he was married to my mom, Georgia O'Keeffe, the artist's sister, Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe Windsor, a beautiful lady, a school teacher, okay? Now then, this is me, their daughter, King Edward VIII, the real king. It's the treaties that were signed after then. And my own brother, Elizabeth's father, and they're illegal and should be in a world court as traitors and every law in the book against them. And I guess I'm showing my bedroom here. Excuse me. But anyway, I'll show this. But anyway, well, if I can get back to what I was saying now. It's early in the morning, and I'm got arthritis and everything so bad I can't stand it. But George VI, illegal. My own uncle helped take his own brother down illegally, kidnapped me, the heir, Victoria II. There was an addendum to the forced takedown, and then my uncle and the New World Order, Illuminati, the Jews, and the Kennedys. Joe Kennedy was appointed ambassador there by Roosevelt and helped in it, and John Kennedy and the older Kennedy, helped in my kidnapping. They flew in to the embassy there all the time during the last few years, and that's when I was kidnapped in 41, is my understanding, and brought to Cortland Air Base near Moulton. So they've covered it all up. It was the treaties, illegal treaties that's been signed that allowed the New World Order to come into place, the UN and all the illegal treaties, the treaties that made the Jews a nation again. And by the way, who's causing all this uproar up and came over here is the Prime Minister from Israel. They never mention me, do they? Obama doesn't. Anyway, this is what I wanted to say here because this is going to go out. There's a person pretending he's my son. I've been told he's a state trooper, Texas Ranger. And yes, I have put on here the names that told me. One's with the Forestry Service here, one's a marshal, etc. That is not my son. He's got all the credentials, and the one that's pretending to be Scott Childers is not my son either. And I've been with him. He came up here, and I met him, and he said that they wear, I think he used socks, but it's a facial mask. And they can make themselves look like whoever they want to. So that's all I'm going to say. Evidently, this guy out in Texas that's pretending to be Martin, he's got all the credentials, and he does sound like him. And I got a phone call, or not a phone call, I got a Facebook thing from him. So evidently he's being pressured because I put this on YouTube and on Facebook. And I think one of the people pressuring him is the woman that married my ex-husband, their father, and was instrumental in trying to have me killed when they put antifreeze in me April Fool Day of '80, and after I'd done the book and had a letter from the U.S.